Week 18 of the NFL regular season is here. We're 1 week away from the playoffs. So much drama building throughout the regular season. The AFC East is up for grabs. The Miami Dolphins, 11-5, currently the second seed in the AFC, have had one of the best offenses in the NFL. Tua at one point was heavily in the mix for the MVP conversation. Tyreek Hill having one of the best receiver seasons of all time. Mike McDaniel doing an amazing job of coaching up this team. They have suffered some big time injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Most recently last week, Bradley Chubb in a blowout win against the Ravens tore his ACL. He's now out for the season. Earlier in the season, we saw Dolphins young star pass rusher Jalen Phillips go down with a torn Achilles. Two huge losses on the defensive side of the ball, although their defense has been significantly better now that Jalen Ramsey's back. On the other side, we have a Buffalo Bills squad that's been counted out all season long. Josh Allen's heard all of the critics, all of the interception numbers, yet he has this team at 10-6. At one point, they were 6-6. A lot of people were ready to hit the panic button, but they picked up two huge wins to prove that they could compete with the best of them. They went on the road at Kansas City, picked up a massive W, 20-17. Then the following week at home against a Dallas team that's regarded as one of the best in the NFC, they thumped them 31-10 and proved that they are here and one of the most dominant and explosive teams in the AFC. And this has really all happened with the midseason changes at the offensive coordinator position. Buffalo fired their old offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey, and moved up Joe Brady to be their new offensive coordinator. Now immediately you see how often and frequently he uses James Cook in the passing game. Josh Allen has been using him a ton, and he's been going crazy with the opportunities he's been getting. This Buffalo offense has looked great over the past 4 weeks, and they've proved that they can be one of the better teams in the AFC come playoff time, especially with how wide open it is. You look at the down year KC's having. Obviously, no Joe Burrow, no Justin Herbert. What's going on with the Jaguars? And it really feels like the Ravens are the breakaway favorite to win it, but if I had to pick one team that could definitely catch up with them, it's the Buffalo Bills. Now they still have to take care of business against Miami this weekend. Earlier in the year when these two teams played, Buffalo won 48-20, got after Tua, pressured him the entire game, and really affected his ability to pick apart defenses like we've seen him do all season long. And with how crazy it is that Buffalo overcame this 6-6 start, they have themselves in a position to win this game and win the AFC East, clinch the number 2 overall seed in the AFC. But with how competitive the AFC's been, there's still a small chance that they could miss out on the playoffs. And there's two different scenarios where Buffalo could still make it even if they lose to Miami. The first one is you have the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're 9-7, currently at the top of the AFC South. If they lose against Tennessee this weekend, they will fall out of the playoff race as either the winner of Indy or Houston will jump them. In the other scenario, you have the Ravens versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now the Ravens have the number 1 seed in the AFC, so they're resting a lot of their guys. Pittsburgh, this is a must-win game for them to sneak into the playoffs as well. So if Pittsburgh wins this game, it puts all the pressure in the world on Buffalo to win, assuming that Jacksonville also wins. Because if Jacksonville and Pittsburgh both win and Buffalo loses, they are out of the playoff race, as crazy as that sounds. Now, I've been very calm on the Bills all year long. When they lost that first game of the season, Josh Allen turned the ball over 4 times. People said he still wasn't taking that next step to potentially win a Super Bowl with the Bills. I disagreed and said, let's slow down. It's only been 1 week. Now, they lose a bunch of ball games. They go 6-6. People think they're done. They were the 13th seed at one point, but I said, pump the brakes. It's Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. I trust this team. Won 2 huge games with their back against the wall. They're 10-6. I believe the Buffalo Bills will beat the Miami Dolphins on Sunday to clinch the number 2 overall seed in the AFC. And this is going to have a huge impact on the Miami Dolphins. Look last week when they were going up against the Ravens. If they would have won that game, they had a shot to take the number 1 overall seed in the AFC, get that first round bye, and the road to the Super Bowl goes through Miami. Now there's a potential shot that they can not only cough up the AFC East division, but there's also a shot where they're in the wild card and they have to go on the road in the playoffs. What a crazy swing of events that would be for the Miami Dolphins. I believe they will lose this weekend. Josh Allen is going to have a monster game. With as much as we've seen Stephon Diggs have down weeks recently, I expect him to bounce back in a major way. When these two teams faced off the first time, Tua was really under pressure. Buffalo knew how to move him off his spot, and it really affected him. Not to mention Jalen Waddle's status for potentially playing is up in the air. That's a huge deal. Give me the Buffalo Bills to win this division, win this game, and go far in the AFC. I'm Caden Kubler, and that's my take.